I'm like, you did?
You did. Hey everyone, it's Crystal.
And it's Tony.
Yeah, guess who's joining me again today? Yay!
Yay! Yay.
And today we're going to do another Battle of the Media, but we are going to do it on American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Now, the series came out literally last night, and so we had to film the video today because... Holy shit!
Oh my goodness! That was amazing. It was amazing.
It was wonderful. Okay, hold on. I need to stop paying attention to Kevin because he's deciding to text me. Now is a good time to text me when I'm filming. Hi, honey. I love you. As normal Battle of the Medias go, we have five categories to go over, comparing the book to the show. So let's just jump straight into it. First off, we're only going to obviously compare episode 1 to the book because that's all we've seen. Yeah. But if you like what you hear, it'll give you more incentive to maybe start watching the show or pick up the book. It is a very good book. Yes. And I recommend it. Episode 1 covered...
I think it's up through like midway of chapter 2. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it actually covered a good amount of the story for the 1 hour time slot, which made me happy because it left it off in a logical place.
Yeah, and it didn't skip anything. Like
no.
I thought it was gonna there was gonna be a lot cut out, but no, that's pretty much the entire story right through where
and question number 1 for Battle of the Media is what was omitted. And I can't think of really anything. What was omitted was they did not mention his partner in jail's name.
Oh no, they didn't.
Which
it comes into play later.
It does come into play later, and it's one of those things where when you're reading it in the book, you don't really notice it until you get to the reveal, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
I see what you did there. Yeah. You clever British boy.
But that's like the only thing that I can think of that was intentionally omitted from the...
And I don't think they intentionally omitted it, because in the book he doesn't necessarily say his name. Like, you don't normally say your name when you're talking to people. But
he was talking he was in prison about getting the calendar from the person, and he mentioned his name. And so you knew back when he was still in prison the name of his cellmate. And so you still didn't put the puzzle pieces together, but you at least knew it. And here they didn't even want to touch it. And it's probably because if you were to hear it said out loud, it wouldn't be as big of a shock.
Depending on the pace that you say it, you could easily put it together sometimes.
Yes.
But when you're reading it, it certainly did not.
No, it sounds like a normal prison name.
Yeah, just a nickname. But.
Yeah. So that was omitted. Number 2, what changed in the digital format? So what changed in the series is number 2.
I think the only thing that changed was the Viking landing.
Mm-hmm.
They changed up the
background story, which if you watched the
I liked it better.
Well, if you watch the behind the scenes for the episode, like most of those special channels do, like Game of Thrones and all those guys, they do a little bit behind the scene or behind the episode of every single one. They said that they were going to do the background story of the different deities in the beginning as the introduction to the episode. So they moved that original Viking story from wherever it was in the book to being the very first thing that introduced you.
They shifted position and they changed up the story just a slight bit. So if I remember right, in the book, they weren't.
They started in prison.
Yeah, but they weren't. The Vikings weren't. They actually found someone on the new land and sacrificed them rather than each other.
Yes,
which was a little bit different. I kind of liked the show better.
Well,
the show
oh,
version.
the badass version of everybody's like stabbing out their eyes as an homage to Odin. I mean,
Yeah,
come on, that's badass. You're like,
especially the guy when he did it to himself. He's like, ugh. Oh, dude, that's.
You got some
I
balls.
would have handed it over to somebody and let him do it, but no, you're just like right in there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I hope that they continue on with that. I'm interested to see how they take the different deity cultures and introduce the episode like that, because we know the next one's going to be more Russian based.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're going to actually do that introduction. Or I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Number 3 is what was included that actually shocked you. And this one, I'm going to say, was the sex scene. Yeah, because it is not a normal sex scene. Now, as specialty channels, HBO and STARZ, we know that there's going to be sex and there's going to be nudity, and
it's one of the perks of having your show on that
premium
channel.
Yeah, but the story actually goes, basically, she is a sex deity that convinces the men that she's with to start worshiping her, and during the process, she kind of ingests them?
Devours them? It's not quite clear exactly how
basically,
it happens, but
they
it
just
happens.
kind of crawl all the way up into her vagina.
Yeah.
And are eaten, and they're loving every minute of it. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
It was something that, I would have expected to be cut from the book, because it's an add-on, but it's not necessary to the story.
Well, I think it sort of is necessary to the story to like, because that is the introduction of that particular character.
True.
And it's a key characteristic of that character. So, well, it's not important to the main story. It is important to the character. So,
okay.
for the character building aspect of it, I didn't expect it to be as graphic. I expected it to be there, but I did not expect to see what I saw when I saw it.
I mean, you saw it. But
yeah.
it was well done, but shocking. Now, number 4 is getting into the character comparisons. How do they compare versus the book? So let's start with the big guy. Main character, his name's Shadow. In the book, he is a very silent type, very deep and thought-provoking. A lot of people think that he might be a bit slow and more muscle than he actually is because of those traits. And what do you think the character in the show, how did it portray him?
He was a lot more verbose in the show, but it's
a little bit more emotive.
Yeah, but I think that's the nature of film rather than the book. They can't show his internal dialogue and his internal struggles. Mm-hmm. They have to like put it out there on the screen sometimes. So you have to say exposition rather than just having it there. So I think that's why he was a little bit more verbose. And
next character, Mr. Wednesday.
Mr. Wednesday.
In the book?
I don't remember him playing that specific con that he did at the airport.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that was a little.
They only introduced him once he was on the plane with Shadow. But
I think they did that for the purposes of showing exactly the second you see him on the airplane
how schemy he is.
Yeah, what a con he really is. He's just, and he's good too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that actor that they got to portray him. I mean, I've seen him before. I don't remember his name, but he was like the perfect Mr. Wednesday for this role. You got right off the bat that he was a con man, that he was someone that you didn't want to mess with, that he was someone who was used to getting his way and had that authority about him.
Yeah, that is something that the actor really lended authority to the role, because he has been in a lot of things, and I think that's why they cast him specifically, because he had, a lot of the other characters aren't big names.
I don't know. There's a couple of them, but none
those
of the
are
ones
all
that
the
were...
gods. The old gods are all big names, but no one knew.
Mad Sweeney, because do you know who played Mad Sweeney?
I know, I recognize him, but I can't.
From Orange is the New Black, he's Pornstache.
Oh! that's where I recognize
as a
him
redhead. Oh my god, he did so good just being this Irish spitball of a
6-foot leprechaun.
I will fight you for fun!
Because it's fun.
And he brought more life to the character than I honestly remember reading in the book, honestly. I mean, I only really remember Mad Sweeney later on when he tries to retrieve the coin back. That's what really stuck with me. That first introduction with Mad Sweeney in the book did not stick with me as much.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember his introduction a lot more than I remember his portrayal later on in the book. Because it stuck out to me how different a character he was. That was what stuck out to me. Okay. Because he was like this big, lively character, full of life, full of vinegar and all that jazz. But later on, not so much. We're trying to talk without giving spoilers. It's hard to do.
It's so hard.
So hard to do. I'm learning this now that I'm doing books and
reviews.
Stuff. Yeah, like
you
it
can't
hurts
say
my
that.
brain.
You can't say that. You want to, but overall, number 5. Which do you like better, the book or the movie? I'm gonna say the jury's still out on that one.
Yeah, the jury has to be out because they could F it up from here.
Yes, but
they're doing a great job.
The show is doing phenomenal.
But they still could mess it up.
And it depends on how much they omit, how much they change, because this is television. And television does change things.
Yeah, movies change things from the book because there's certain things that you can do in print that you can't do visually.
All the tech that they had for Mr. Tech, the God.
Oh, yeah.
And all the
Technology
stunning,
boy.
Yeah, visuals that they did with him and everything.
That was a little bit different because he found a thing on the road.
He was vaping a toad.
Yeah, he was vaping a toad. That was weird. But he found the thing on the road rather than getting kidnapped and thrown in a limo.
Yes, when he was walking home, because that's what originally happened in the movie.
And I kind of want to, during that scene, I kind of want to scream like, okay, they're not portraying a black guy here. Black guy does not go poke that goofy thing in
with a stick.
Yeah, he does not do that.
Poke it with a stick. No.
He doesn't go investigate that. He goes, that's none of my business. Keeps walking.
Yep. American Gods, it is on Sundays on STARZ. This is an advertisement, I guess. But if you're interested, check it out. We will be watching it because it already has its claws into us because...
Yeah.
Dang. Also, we are going to be... This is me, not we. Me being we. Going to be at SpringCon and Convergence coming up, so if you are in the Twin Cities area, come check us out at the Geek by Numbers table. Again, this is Crystal from Digital and Vellum.
And this is Tony from Arc Crow.
Please check out his channel and give him props too, because he has been starting to do book reviews as well, and we want to keep this community going. So, like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, check us out, and we will see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay.